So the question that came from Brigitte in the Facebook group, here we go, is do you think your experiment journey with your line 3 has a wave pattern? Kind of like an emotional wave. Mine is 3 to 6 months and then I'm done. So her experimentation, she has a 3-5, her experimentation lasts sort of 3 to 6 months, and then she just probably just moves on to the next experiment. Juliana, is that something that...
I love that reflection and just that question. I'm like, I think it does, unless it has roots. So there's some things in my life that I have experimented with that I'm like, this creates roots, and I really dive into it. Like counseling, like human design, like yoga, those are all, and food, those are all things that have roots for me, and plants, right? But other things, yeah, they like the inspiration feels like it's there for a certain amount of time, and then it just kind of fizzles out. And I'm gonna have to watch. I'm curious about that now. I'm gonna start watching to see if there's a pattern there. Mm-hmm.
Sandra?
There's a couple of different ways of answering this, levels at which we're talking about. Experimentation, normal daily level experimentation, that just never ends. Ongoing, forever, ever and ever. But I have noticed that professionally, as a massage therapist, I go through these phases where I do a whole lot of continuing education. And it may take, a couple of years. And then I back off and I'm not doing as much continuing education. And then the next wave will come, lots of experimentation, lots of learning, and then backing off. Right now, I have been in a really intense period of working on building my business and learning all kinds of things that I don't know how to do or didn't know how to do, all this stuff around building my business that's taking a ton of learning and experimentation. So I hadn't made this parallel before, but I'm going to say that, yes, it's kind of this wave that with massage therapy and continuing it, there'd be a couple of years that I have off, and whoop, then I'm a couple of years into it. And then, so yes, I would say that there may be this experimental wave.
So I would definitely corroborate that. I'm not sure I would say wave. I mean, wave probably in intensity. Maybe, at some point you're just like super deep into the experiment, right? And lightly maybe on either end as you either get into it or get out of it. I would almost say phase maybe, as opposed to, it's sort of a play kind of phase, but probably because there's an element of potential boredom that could come through the line 3 once you've experimented and you kind of learned what you need to learn. And you're just like, all right, next. That could be seen as, that phase or that wave or that bubble. And as Juliana was mentioning, things sticking. I would probably say for my experimentation, once things start sticking a little bit more consistently, then I'm probably like, okay, well, I've gotten what I needed out of that experiment, and that testing, and then, move on to the next thing and test. And so that's probably from my perspective. And thank you, Brigitte, for confirming you are splenic. I didn't think you were emotional. I think you were, figured you were splenic, but that's it. So you don't have an emotional wave yourself, but looking for that confirmation about the experience of that line 3, I like to call it play session, with whatever you're specifically experimenting with.